Okay, yep. So, we are recording Bob199, the hero who made this awesome perler, versus Malthug. Or not Malthug, sorry, rodohk, with featuring Malthug and Riker for commentary, excuse me. They are just about to start.
So, rodohk always plays Lum, so that's no surprise. Bob199 pulling out DeGrey because DeGrey beats Lum makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Zane Lum is doable, but difficult, because Jay is really oppressive to Zane.
I think I've heard other people describe this as a match where, like, Lum has to play this weird, different game that Lum normally doesn't want to play to win this, where, like, Lum DeGrey is like another day for DeGrey. He just, does some dodging, does some 7 throwing, does some damage.
Bob is the quality man. Okay, so good turn 1 for Bob for sure. DeGrey, of course, really has to work the throw game, since Lum just wants to block a lot and do Lum things.
Yep, work the throw game, but make Lum afraid to work his own jacks and queens and face card game because of ace dodge.
Well, what combat did I miss?
First turn, 10 throw to 2 block.
Okay, you powered up those 5s?
Yep.
Let's finish my game.
Bob does like playing a very aggressive low hand DeGrey.
Ooh.
So
Lum is not a character that can super punish you hard for that, though. Although, I mean, being low hand DeGrey is never a good thing. Well, I won't say that. It is never a good thing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Bob going straight for the damage.
Yep. So Bob doesn't want to keep that king. Doesn't want to keep that king to beat jacks or anything or queens. He just wants damage.
I mean, 30 life is certainly,
which is reasonable.
Certainly a good start so far. No dice on the jackpot fish. I must remember that I can't randomly tab out and check Facebook because I'm screen capping, so...
Need multiple monitors.
Yeah, I'm on a laptop, so,
You can still do multiple monitors. Yep, there's that Lum throw speed.
That's kind of depressing for DeGrey, because it's like you almost won, but no.
Hey, it's almost like he didn't take damage. Lum throws aren't threatening, let's be real.
Except extra juice. Yo.
That's that painful throw.
So rodohk is doing what he does need to do here, which is do bad payoff Lum throws.
Greetings.
Hi, Ju.
Hi, Ju.
Lots of bad payoff Lum throws.
You kind of have to throw, though. You have great throw speeds. Who even has 0.4 throw speeds? We all know the 0.2 speed throws. It's like, him is... Onimaru 0.4?
Onimaru is 0.2.
0.2.
Onimaru, Satsuki, Valerie are 0.2.
Yep.
Zane's 0.3.
Yep.
Who all has 0.4?
Vendetta, Purse,
Vendetta.
I think?
Oh, that's 0.6.
No, she has 0.6.
Oh,
BBB has 0.4.
BBB. It's like 0.4 is the low payoff throws. Looks,
Well, Vin's actually has a high payoff, but, like...
Theoretically, most of the time with Vin's throwing, it's to knock you down anyway.
Yep. I mean, I would still count that as kind
You're right. But,
Gwen's feel like they should be faster, but they're 0.6, so...
But
I'm pretty glad they're not faster.
I agree.
Yeah, they'd be pretty silly.
But the thing about Lum's throws is while they do very little damage, I mean, everybody that's been around for a while knows they don't knock down, they do small damage, or they do larger damage for card inefficiency.
There we go. This is the interaction that I was hoping to see out of this set, actually. I would have liked rodohk to maybe pump that twice to get extra kind of 6 out of that for 15, but I mean, you can't argue too much about.
I think it's interesting that he's successfully thrown 3 times and hasn't pumped any of them to get rid of that difference in moral high ground.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I mean, there has to be something he's trying to protect there.
Well,
I'm not sure if he's trying to set up maybe for his 10.
Unless you have stray normals lying around, what are you pumping as Lum? All 3 of your face cards are good in this matchup.
I mean, I would be pumping 5s and 6s and things like that.
Well,
stray normals.
Stray normals.
Bob is also just kind of playing the sit on the ace game, so he's gonna have to start pumping them.
Yeah. He tried to fish for the throw there.
Well, he doesn't really have to pump them if he gets rid of the ace. If he finds the ace.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to deal the damage somehow, though. Like, he can't just sit around until it's like, okay, time for PCPAA mix-up.
Yeah, I mean, he can still do stuff like dodge into, I don't know, maybe K plus or Q plus. Like, I would like to see a little bit more
AA
of that.
is the big dodge thing, I would imagine.
Yeah, but I wouldn't feel super comfortable doing that. Good throw. He has to pump that. He has to pump that.
With 10 cards, he probably has something he can pump it with.
Please, 2 pumps. Don't let it rock. You need 2 point pumps, because that'll get him under 50. I would have liked 2 pumps, but I guess we'll take it. I think getting DeGrey under 50, or maybe getting DeGrey under half HP, so you can start to run your 10 stuff would be nice. Maybe that's the ideal thing, but maybe Roto HP.
It's under about 40, I would imagine, that puts you in the danger of just dying out of nowhere.
Just keep playing aces, guys. Doesn't matter how many times they get thrown. Just keep playing aces.
Yeah. If you can power up for them.
That's what this matchup is.
Yeah.
Yep. I like Bob's play so far. It's conservative, making...
Not very many mistakes.
In V1, I was one of the very few Rook players, which Rook got absolutely destroyed by Lum in version 1, because Q still dealt chip.
Yep.
But I was playing DeGrey, who everyone was commenting about how bad DeGrey was, possibly the worst character in the game, because the only other bad character in the game, Midori, beat him. And DeGrey beat Lum back then, too. So I ran as the secondary. For this reason, it's because Lum's throws are unthreatening, and since Lum throws are unthreatening, DeGrey can play this dodge-heavy range and just brutally punish with his high damage output.
Yeah, or just kind of power up, because I mean, you didn't get the extra damage on aces before, but that was still like 30 a pop. Like, if you threw it to ace, like, that's 30. That's a third right there. You could do that 3 times, and Lum really just kind of, ooh.
So I was going to say that I would expect to see a mix-up normal from Bob here, and I guess
Rodohk
also.
Wait.
Well, do we know? I haven't paid enough attention. Do we know what the rest of his aces are? Ooh, he's just pumping.
Yeah, I mean that's smart. Yeah, so I mean he basically just ooh.
And this can go into a 10
really
if he can power up for one of the aces.
So
hopefully,
I don't think. Yes, math.
Yeah, it can.
Oh no, because then it would put the aces underneath
the
cards. Yeah,
exactly. Your power up get in the way. I was going to say I was surprised by the single pump because generally when Lum hits you with ace out of raw, the next thing he's going to do is not play that ace for was it 11 damage, 12 damage?
It was 12, so it negated the
he instead generally plays 10 at the end of the turn and discards that ace for a chance at blackjack.
Yeah. I think maybe
he could just not have that yet.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably the case. Q not dealing chip is such a big deal in this version.
I'm so glad about that. But I still wish he probably would have saved that. Because, I mean, that's 16 extra damage that you could do. Or, I mean, pump with Q. Because I honestly, outside of, like...
Well, I'm not sure what we're trying to beat with that Q.
Yeah, that...
DeGrey is knocked down. He might play something to beat your mix-up normal, but unless it's J...
Attack side PCP? I guess he's going for that NHP damage.
Well, now that DeGrey's at less than 30, the like entire tone of this match changes because now it's up to DeGrey to start stuff because otherwise he could just die to two blackjacks.
But when you look at the size of Lum's hand right here, 2 blackjacks are not reasonable.
Yeah, I agree.
If Lum wants to sit there and wait, he risks getting thrown, twice and dying, or once in a K.
Oh, that's actually really interesting. I'm looking at Bob's discard, and I only see 1 ace in there, so And I know he powered up for 2 at some point. So he has one rocking back there.
He probably has 2 rocking back there. When he played that 7, it was almost certainly an attempt, until the face down came, an attempt at 7AA.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess he maybe got a little bit too ambitious. I actually am a little surprised. I thought he would just ace dodge there. Because I don't really see Lum like throwing out of knockdown. Not in that situation. Another PCP setup.
What's these PCPs?
I told you, man. He's working.
I guess he's
working the moral high ground.
Yeah.
Well, here's your throw AA. I was going to say
that.
he needs 2-1 combats, and one of them needs to lead into AA. So here's your AA. One more combat wins, but Bob could die to out of combat damage if he lets Lum hang around too long.
Well, 7 cards. I think it's possibly reasonable to expect. Yep. I think it's definitely reasonable to expect kind of an ace here. So this is really kind of a. Oh, actually, that's a little different.
2 aces. He would have to have a 10 in hand. He might just be holding the threat.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There's no reason.
He has
for
the
it.
other one in hand, which means here comes the 10.
Yep.
We'll see if it kills him.
So
Looking
do you actually, looking at his discard, do you actually like risk for that?
Depends on
I mean,
what
maybe-
he pulls.
it depends on what he pulls.
He pulls.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Back him up, boys. He's got 3 cards in hand. He's got 2 Qs in the discard. I believe he might have another one held back.
That's a rough break for the solitaire.
Oh, man. The fates are cruel today.
Oh,
That's the only thing you can really say is the Lum player in that situation. Just laugh it off.
That hurts.
He is no Sherman.
that 7 had to be just going through the cycle because it's very unlikely Bob has another ace in hand.
Yeah, but you can still shoot for trying to get one, and that leaves 10. That's like anything from one basically. Can do up to 10, I think.
I can't say I have much sympathy for Lum players when that happens because they're winning with out of combat damage, so they can deal with that.
6-3-3, not enough.
You have to take 1 pump though. I feel like you have to take 1.
1 pump puts him in combat death to Q,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, you have to take 1.
Then puts him
But
with a 9. That'll leave him with 8 health left.
The rest of his hand might be too fragile, so I think.
Well, I feel like if he's thinking about it that hard, he doesn't have the Q anyway. So.
Yeah. So we have 11-3. I actually don't really see Bob ace dodging here. He seems to try to be a little bit more bold in in-game scenarios. No, okay, he
The
blocked.
Q was there. I wonder if that means that I'm gonna go ahead and say I think either that was a top deck Q or another Q comes because he didn't power that up. Probably means that he had lethal anyway. Well, no, there was a Joker there. So why would you not pump in that scenario? This is a really weird scenario.
Yeah, I would like to see what he has back there. Maybe he's saving extra juice?
Ooh.
Oh,
That's what he was holding.
Oh, I see.
We shouldn't. That ace was known.
Yeah. Well, that was a good ending by Bob here. Pretty safe ending, I think, also with that 7 throw.
He got really lucky on that blackjack though. 10 and that
Yeah.
he pulled a Q on the blackjack, which got him the straight 10. So the next hit was definitely like, okay, go for this. And then he got the Joker and busted. Like that's just a real bad break for
I remember before rodohk had a rook. Maybe he hasn't really played it in a long time.
Well, I wouldn't want to see Rook versus DeGrey anyway. I don't like that matchup at all. I played that one in V1 as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little different. Malorian Thug can probably attest to this one, playing that matchup. But
it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, a lot of good interaction. But looks like he is coming out with the pumps now. I think the kind of neutral, quote unquote, between the card count is pretty nice to do that. Not going to be ambitious in getting going for it. So probably
Lum has to have cards. He has to have weapons. And the beginning of the game is touch and go if your hand's not good. If your hand is solid with Lum, you've got a J, you've got a Q, you have a 6 or something. I mean, you're set for the whole game as long as your roll the dice doesn't mean to you.
Yeah.
I mean, and Bob's
Good
already represented.
counterpoke.
Yeah, Bob's already represented that he has the ace dodge and is willing to play it a lot. So playing the jack has to be kind of scary for rodohk.
I think it.
Oh,
it
that
might
is
not be-
unfortunate.
Yeah. It might not be as scary now because I think just about every time Bob is represented kind of going for a mix-up normal, because rodohk was a little bit cowed to like actually make an offensive move on knockdown. So now Bob I think has to reevaluate that a little bit.
Good block.
Yeah, that was a very good block.
Well,
I probably would have tried to throw in that situation and gotten jammed for that.
as Bob, I likely would have tried to throw. Knowing that the J and the Q are off the table, I felt like layer
That's true.
1 is almost certainly DeGrey throw. But, no, there was another J in the building. See, you see Bob playing aggressively because the J and the Q are gone, and it's still early game. There's no proof that Lum has these fast attacks that Lum generally has, and you can kind of press your advantage, but he just immediately pulled another J out.
Especially we know he's got low payoff because he did J into nothing.
Just about to say, he's got
Which
no
means
Ks.
there's not likely any kings, probably not a Q.
Yeah,
You tag normals there. That's going to get you the most damage out of your normal mileage as well, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I would have
but
liked
he
to
has
see
life
J7-8
leads,
if he had it, because he had the 7. to
Hell,
block
just
with
something like J5. I can understand wanting to keep jackpot to cycle when DeGrey is going to have at least 2 aces in his hand later.
Yeah,
Especially when the way Bob's been going low on hand. Speaking of which,
Ooh, yeah. I think in addition, one of the things that I thought was a little strange about that sort of interaction is Lum has that life lead, so he could stretch that and then kind of afford to play slightly more like reactively.
whoa!
But I think now, obviously, the pace has been accelerated, so he can't do that, and he gets rid of.
Is he going to be powering up here?
What?
He
Why?
got rid of
Why
so many
didn't-
nines.
Why didn't he just power up 2 of them and then go for 4 of a kind? I don't understand.
He might not have.
This is very interesting because if I'm Bob here, I just dodge until you get rid of cards.
Oof. He might be trying to win off the aces as combat options.
That's entirely possible, I guess.
And
I mean, ace.
5J 7 8.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Nice damage there, and he gets the card draw with 5. Do you take knockdown?
No, you
Or
take the J.
back?
You make sure you have the J. You already have 1 J and 1 Q down.
That J's been
That's
doing
true.
work. I would take the J.
Well, he's thinking
I
about
think
it.
he's
He
really-
must have something else in his hand because he just took the knockdown.
Well, he also has so many aces, so I think Bob kind of has to like hold this mix up. He can't just like K out for free. He actually has to respect this now. So he guesses on a block. He knows a 2's there.
If I'm
So it's
holding
like-
a 10 as Lum here, I'm probably just throwing AA. I'm just going to mash it.
Yeah, I mean, that's reasonable. Yeah, there's the K.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I figure it was safe to assume that DeGrey had one back there.
Yeah.
So I think the mix-up is still the same. Like, rodohk can afford to waste an ace dodge and fish for a bit of damage.
That or normal if he thinks the block's coming.
Yeah, see, that's what that was. I would have liked to possibly see the normal, but I guess since Bob saw that 2 7s had been flushed, that he could safely kind of like ace
Well,
stuff,
the moment
or
Bob saw
block-
that, the moment Bob saw his K out in the open, take that.
yeah,
The moment
15.
Jay just saw the moment Bob saw that his K was revealed, he's like, I'm just gonna block here. I know you're likely fishing for blackjack, so I can just sit here,
Yeah.
take my time.
RotoHK got his blackjack anyway, so
Yeah.
2 more blackjacks can easily be the game without Lum ever winning another combat because he is still holding 2 aces.
yeah.
Throw? Yeah.
Hello.
Yep.
Knock, knock.
Yep. I felt like it was pretty not obvious that he was going to represent throw in this situation, but it was very likely, especially considering good knockdown.
I was sleeping on ace for sure.
Yeah, I absolutely wasn't. Like that was a good call by rodohk because I really just don't think that Bob was going to ace dodge or something like that.
King
he
from
just-
Bob. No.
Full
Oh, he
plays.
tried to catch the thing. And I think if he has the 10, that's game 2.
Yeah, because you can just
Pretty
pull them
sick.
from the back of the discard, and those two are still on the top. Or no, I guess one's on the top.
Yeah.
So.
So this might be gravy here.
How much chip does AA do?
To me,
4?
he doesn't go bust. If he
4.
has another Joker, it's certainly game because you can go full house.
Yep. Oh yeah, and get that 7. That's true.
If he has another power up, it's GG.
Troublesome rhetoric on throw. Bob has to be counter throwing. He has to be. It doesn't make sense otherwise.
Jin
Or
wants to-
counter throwing or trying to catch something. Because there's like no reason.
Bob.
Yet. There's absolutely no reason to throw him in that situation. Lum doesn't have to do anything. Yep. So
Strong
That's
game
a good
2
game,
from Roto
too.
HK.
yeah, being a little bit gutsy on those AAs, I really like that from Roto HK. Especially since Bob has kind of shifted away from representing Ace Dodge. Kind of getting that 5 fish on a normal wasn't questionable. It was a decent read, but I think it kind of told Roto HK and allowed him to kind of set a different pace for the matchup.
Well, he made Ace work for him. That's for certain.
Wonderful to see Bob switch.
Possible.
Because Bob plays a lot of
I've
different
seen-
characters.
This
and I've seen
DeGrey
him-
pick seems like it would like. I haven't been seeing Bob play DeGrey this season yet, so I would imagine that the DeGrey pick was
Hasn't
chosen
Bob been
specifically for
playing
Roto
DeGrey
HK.
in Quick Match?
Yeah, I think he's represented him in Quick Match.
Oh
I
no,
know
Bob's been
we were
playing
pretty
Quince in
close.
Quick Match. My mistake.
I see. Oh yeah, he's 4th currently.
Yeah,
The other-
it's Deluxe
the
who's
other
been playing
Dodge
DeGrey.
heavy.
Yeah, Deluxe has been playing it. And I know I had seen him in previous seasons, or last season rather, represent Zane in this matchup. And it's a matchup that I think is relatively close. Oh, Fishman,
Oh, that'll
of
do
course. Of course. Fishman coming out.
Yeah, Zane
I
can
was
handle
going,
this matchup.
I was going
but
to
it's
say
difficult.
it's been my personal experience that even if he stays the same character, Bob takes a minute but behind a loss, which I think is a good
Oh,
idea.
bother.
Oh bother! I'm sorry, Pooh Bear.
Yeah, and I think Fishman is obviously a strong pick, and Bob in version 1 had been known for representing Fishman before. He is a strong Fishman. Strong in multiple characters, obviously. Oh,
Yo!
Jeez.
Making a
Extra.
statement.
I'm gonna get 2 here.
And he pulled the ace
pumps?
here.
2 pumps, yep.
3
Oh,
pumps.
he went
Ace
for the-
pump.
Okay.
We in there, I
That
guess.
is
He's trying
very.
by going
Well,
down
yeah.
to low cards like this. He really does change the range Bob wants to play on.
Yo!
Wow! Who is this man?
He has a gigantic life lead right now.
He has a gigantic
So-
pair of balls.
Yeah, that's for
A
sure.
rather wonderful set of rolling pandas, if you will.
Yep, got him again.
This mono throw Lum is just doing work right now.
But by throwing all of these times, Bob is opened up to block very soon.
He's also opened up to J, which undercuts a lot of our folks.
Well, I'm saying, since the throws are leaving Roto HK's hand here, because
Yeah.
he's playing them in combat so often, he can just
Yeah,
block.
there it is.
However, Bob
There's-
does not want Roto HK to get a hand back. He does not want to give him time to breathe. But
But it's been
you kind of need to
4
take
turns.
advantage of the fact that there are no throws there.
Yep,
Most of his
I
life
agree.
bar is gone already. This is
Yeah, this is under half HP, and he is not even taking 10 damage yet. This is extremely strong.
I feel
Coming
like even if you just get blown out of the
Good.
water here, like it's like this game started.
Yeah,
If you
I think
if it continues all the way until your life bar is depleted, I think you stay.
wow.
Bodyguard.
Okay, so Bob
agree.
counter poking the 6, no throws in his hand. I would say either that or it's a deliberate trap.
I know Bob is a very wily player. He likes to hide information like I like to hide information. But I also think he's wary of getting poked a couple times, yeah. So, or maybe he just doesn't have a throw.
Yeah, I mean, given that he
Honestly,
tried a couple times to counter throw, I guess there's only
Yeah.
2 in the discard. He probably has one.
The first dodge I can understand is an attempt to get rid of J theoretically.
Good. So that should go into 456. Oh, do you let that rock?
K-pump.
46 J? Yeah.
That's rough for
Now
Bob.
RodoHK has a hand again.
Yeah, he needed that damage.
That was a good risk to
I
take.
don't think you I think that Bob doesn't really need that damage. He needs to get a handle on the combat. Argyarg still has a supreme combat advantage in this matchup.
Yep,
Throws.
I agree.
I still think RodoHK has to find attacks, assuming Bob is holding 10s.
Yeah, he
to win
found
this
one.
game still. So
Good. Yep.
So if you just slow down and let your passive work,
Work for you, yeah. Get that
Argyarg is
extra damage.
fine. He doesn't have to worry about that damage.
Yeah, and we've seen two 10s gone now too. So that's
What that
44
Joker
off the
does-
forge.
What that Joker does is it gives RodoHK cards, which is problematic.
Yep. Same for this interaction that comes up. 2 pumps, I would guess.
2 bumps, definitely.
At least.
He might be considering 3 for the 18. That'll leave him at 4 cards. And that's like not too bad, yeah.
He's got him down to 21 life, so that's...
2 throws in theory. 110.
Yeah. 2 throws,
He's
1
not
10.
going to get a 10 off. He's just going to crash and flow.
I could see a J.
No,
actually,
the
out
10
for
throw
RodoHK.
itself.
Oh, yeah, 10 throw, yeah.
We're gonna see that Ooh.
The scoops are so real.
Bob, you need to calm down, my friend.
Yeah. Take that 15.
Now a throw will kill.
A throw
Even
will
a
kill. You might even see a 10, possibly to
Even a
bait
six.
out ace dodge. No, just block. Okay. That would have been real raw if RodoHK finally supported a ace dodge there and got the win off of that.
Now Bob's in a bad situation.
Yeah, I think Bob is really confused. Ooh.
Meaty.
Okay, that's good. That's
6Q?
real meaty.
6Q?
6Q, yeah.
The second
first.
Joker. Now RodoHK has a handy. This is a very fortunate draw for RodoHK.
Yeah, he.
Although Bob started out with two aces. If Bob can get an ace up, if he blocks an attack with double shield,
I think
it's
if
looking
he,
a whole lot better.
I think if
If
I'm
he
Roto
lands-
HK here, I'm not playing, like, attacks. Like, why would you give him
Yeah.
a chance to get the bubble shield?
Oh god!
Roto HK has
Okay.
amazing luck. Just saying.
Hit it again. Alright, there you
Oh,
go.
he got one. Oh,
Do you have
that's
another
super
one?
That's a big
dangerous.
deal, too.
That is a very big deal. I feel like Bob probably hesitated on countering that one too.
Those aces need to come out of his hand pretty quickly for Pierce.
Good throw. Yeah, he hesitated on that, which is smart. Take the knockdown.
That's
like
two
6J.
crashing flows
Yeah.
Bob has played now as throws. So Roto HK can actually possibly look for Poker Flourish to close this
I
out.
would imagine he doesn't play the final. I would imagine that he only unlocks the 10 in his hand when there's another one to replace it. I might be
Yeah.
wrong, but that's what I would do in his situation.
Here
Yeah,
comes
I
the
don't
blackjack
think he's
then.
gonna risk that. Yeah, I don't
Roto
think he's gonna.
HK is counting on him risking that.
Yeah,
Well, he's
This has to
pulling
be
one
a-
of them away right now.
countered. This is countered.
Yep.
Absolutely countered. Maybe no. Does Roto HK have the final one?
He may not have another 10, but you know,
Ooh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
That's
Fingers crossed?
terrifying.
No, does not get it.
if he
Okay,
hit, if
so
he hits
we-
the ace there, then Jay chips him out.
We do have a potential confirm into AA, baiting out a counter throw. And that really puts Bob in a good situation. I feel like Roto HK is
That's
probably going to represent throw? No, okay.
I think you just
He
have
gets
to
rid of
block
the
as
touch.
Argyarg here. You need to find that shield.
Yeah. Hopefully Bob is checking discard here.
You have a
He
Joker.
has a burst.
Yeah,
He
you
just-
have a Joker. You can play raw AA here. How many aces are gone? He still has the one ace. I
He
think.
still has 1-8 throw potential and 1-8 throw, 1-9 throw, 1-10 throw, all of which will kill Arc instantly.
typically
So he
typically
can't be too.
good.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say typically Argyarg's ace is safe because if it get in a situation where you're holding a Joker like that, because if you get dodged, you can Joker and you live even though you have 8 health. But Lum's ace dodge, which is I believe known in his hand.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
no. At least 2 now. I think he has 2.
No, there's only
One.
one. Only one.
Only 1? Okay.
That will you can't defend against that. Ooh.
Oh,
Game over. Well
that was
played by
perfect
Roto
hit.
HK.
Yeah. Perfect way to hide
A
information.
well-played game by rodohk with a dominant start, but look how close it was at the end.
That's what we call a
matchup
counter pick.
bad. That is matchup bad. That kind of still came to that. But rodohk
Stay arg here, I believe. Well, you go back to DeGrey. Pick the one you're confident in.
I feel like Bob was possibly shaken by that game. He definitely. I still feel like he never really got his footing.
You can't let yourself be shaken because those games will happen.
22
Yeah.
damage out the gate with extra juice there was a hell of a start.
That was fantastic. Yeah.
He must have started with at least one of those jokers in his hand to know that he could get cards back.
Yeah, I think so. rodohk played a very, very great risk management game.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. When you take a risk like that and it works, you're considered a genius. But if it fails, you just sit there and wonder, what is he doing?
Yeah, what could have happened?
And that's why when you're Bob, you can't let that rattle you. You have to sit down, play it again, and then just know if he tries that again, it could blow up in his face. And even if you're wrong in trying to stop it, the cost for trying to stop it isn't even that high.
Yeah, I agree. He still has another game. So let's say that assuming Bob stays here, wins game 4, do we see a counter pick from rodohk? And what do you think we see out? Do you think we see the rook? So this might be something that he's considering here. Because Bob could switch into kind of a closer to an even matchup. I think
we know. I mean, does anybody else here remember how much fun Bob had playing Valerie? That would actually be the place to play Valerie.
Yeah.
But this is Onimaru. This is odd.
This isn't a
I have no idea.
Terrible matchup. I know Oni's considered really bad ones are Arg and DeGrey. So I mean maybe Bob wants to get some mileage out of this. I don't know too much about Onimaru, unfortunately.
This is a pretty decent matchup for Onimaru. Like, that happens, but sometimes it happens the other way around. Yeah. And Onimaru has some of the strongest dodges in the game. Yep. So jack pokes can be really dangerous, because you can just poke into tank 20.
Dodge into 20 is obscenely good for Onimaru.
Yeah, and Onimaru has so much health. Like, that 90 health really does him favors, especially against rodohk.
That 90 health is very threatening. There's some 90 health characters that don't feel like they have as much health as Onimaru does because of the way that his in-game locks you down.
Yep.
Because of the effect Final Authority has on the game.
And I think one of the proponents that I tried to make before, especially as I got really frustrated playing Setsuki versus Onimaru, a matchup I still don't like.
I remember that.
Onimaru's blocks are so strong, I think.
His in-game is strong.
Yeah, his in-game is strong. I mean, his throw game is more respectable, possibly, than people get.
Yep, his throw game dodge 20.
His throw game gets more respectable when you have a. You don't burst this early. Woo! Okay.
Yep, that's one of
I actually like that. Yeah, I like that.
One of like 40.
Yeah, but, I feel like the setup wasn't really. I like what Bob did because I would have had a probably hard chance thinking about the setup versus setting martial law, but I like that. I guess maybe I don't know what he was. Ooh.
He is.
Answer's back.
Well, we've seen rodohk play 2 block, and that's what 6 is looking for. 2, 4, 5.
Yeah, and you don't waste a dodge with a potential 3, which you would also use to kind of beat that too. So I like that. Do we have a throw out of knockdown sort of Onimaru here?
Possibly a 5.
I don't think rodohk is throwing normals here. Yeah. He tried to call something else, but that was a good block on rodohk.
He did have a high enough block in hand to beat that 8. I'm so glad that Onimaru doesn't have a 9 attack.
Let's say 9 block is like 100% for blocking 8s in this matchup as well. So you don't really want to use 10 block that much. You just want to not get hit with that attack.
Yep. I think Bob's showing that he is not throwing, because he could have gotten a good 12 and taken life lead. Yeah, he could have gotten 12 and taken life lead off of that if he throws the other side. But it doesn't
seem... dodges. He's trying to play. He's trying to play a defensive game and force rodohk to have to open up throw. And the moment rodohk starts playing throw, Onimaru's entire range just broadens.
Yeah, but I don't like him using the dodges to do that. I would just use the block.
Yeah.
Right now, Bob is playing Onimaru like he's playing DeGrey.
I think that's a bit of that too. But I know Bob had played Onimaru before. But this seems like a really nuanced sort of matchup. One that maybe he doesn't have all the neutral interactions with, or he's just trying to again play a certain way and see how that's going to get him.
He could just be trying to open up rodohk to losing to Final Authority ranges later.
Yeah.
But
you have to be so careful because as strong as his in-game is, it doesn't beat out of combat damage.
That is true. He needs to close this life lead ASAP. I think he might have lost a lot of the initiative to be able to do that. And I feel like that 7 throw was an attempt to gain that initiative, but rodohk.
I think as Onimaru, I probably have to take my foot off the gas pedal because I believe here comes unless I have a Final Authority that I want to play.
Oh,
never mind. rodohk wanted this.
I'm not sure what he was looking for. Maybe
he was looking for an attack to beat a throw.
Still,
what other reason do you have for playing that 4?
I was gonna say that's a strange 4.
Or maybe he was trying to beat a high hand level? That should be going into a straight. I would burst that if I was... yeah, that's definitely going into a straight.
Panda straights feel bad.
Yeah.
There's the 6.
So now this is super dangerous because I think Lum can really make... If he wants to just AA him, I think he can do that here.
Unless Final Authority comes out.
I don't like the jackpot. I guess he's just trying to draw cards.
Yeah, isn't there still 2 aces in discard? There's still 2 aces in discard.
Yeah, I don't get these jackpots.
Maybe he has 2 other 7s in his hand and he's trying to set up Poker Flourish. No.
That's not going to happen because there's a combat card to be played here unless he thinks he's going to get away with a block. Which, I mean, I guess is a fair assumption.
Well, can't he go jackpot, Poker Flourish, or is Poker Flourish end of turn?
End of turn.
Poker Flourish is end of turn.
Okay, so you can't do a jackpot, Poker Flourish then.
Yeah, I really think that Bob lost the initiative here. Especially with the first turn that he did not throw out a knockdown and went for the 8.
Yeah, now he's got to struggle to find the life difference here now.
Yeah, I really like rodohk working these knockdowns. Because he'll eventually get the out of combat damage, and he really has to force Onimaru to guess now. If he represents throw, he could lose to 6 throw. Obviously, ace dodge blows up other attacks. This is just a very poor situation.
I wonder if he has the other 2 5s.
He could also 5.
Nope.
At this point, this is rodohk's game to lose.
I think I may block here as Onimaru because of exactly that.
You have to. Yeah,
so this is going to be really Poker Flourish, I would imagine.
Yeah, he's going to eat 15 or something. I'd say, like 15 or 16. He has to expect to eat.
Yeah.
And he's dead to the next one.
Oh, well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter that much.
He thinks it matters.
DFHVS Bub.
Yep. Just Bub.
Your luck is against you and you're winning anyway. Consider that a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes Zane mills both jokers and you beat Riker anyway. It happens.
What? What?
Yeah.
I seem to remember doing the same thing to you.
I've got a screenshot of that.
There's the footage. So, same mix-up. I mean, obviously, he's probably not going to A again.
Well,
but you can J,
I
think, relatively safely here.
We didn't get the flourish last turn, so...
Ooh.
That's bad.
You have to burst this, Bob. You have to. There's no choice.
You didn't even follow this up as Lum.
Yeah.
Yeah, dead. If he was gonna put anything on the table, it was like an 8 attack or something.
Things are looking a bit grim for Bob199 here.
I don't like the power up there.
Yeah, what
I
is
don't
that?
know
What
what
is that
that
ace really going to
accomplishes.
do for him at this point? Like,
If anything,
Jack, that's about it.
Give him a dodge punish if he's got another ace.
yeah.
Well, here come the final authorities.
If you're going to do that, like you don't power. I don't think you power up because you have to save them to pump.
he's
Like,
using
just
the
powered
ace
up that ace.
as a pump.
Yeah, you could have just pumped the 2 5s for that. Like I'm confused by it, but I guess he's working it out. So
Must have been a valuation trial.
it's
Final
possible.
threat authority.
Or he drew another ace, and he has the martial law he wants.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, here it comes.
So he has a turn and a half, I think, to avoid dying.
No, he's got more than that. He's probably got about 3. Assuming the 10s are even there. Because there's only 2 10s left in the deck, and it would take both to win. Bob
He's
just
down
has
to
not
20
lose
cards, though.
combat. Bob just has to not lose combat, I think.
Yeah. I
Speaking
feel
of
like
losing combat. You better have
that's
the
a-
other Joker, bud.
that's a play that I think you make if you have both for
No face down, just AA this.
AAA? No.
And now you died of full house.
Knockdown. Yeah.
No, not knockdown. Draw bottom. Not 4 life.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we can basically call this set.
No,
There's not many jackpots
I
left.
believe in Bob. No, I don't. I'm sorry, Bob.
Yeah. Now it's 6.
Oh,
I believe. Yeah.
Rip.
What
Exactsies.
a
Body
way to
I
bag.
go.
believe. Yeah. I believed in him with 27. I don't know. I wouldn't say that he got not necessarily mind crushed. I don't think he got shaken by the art game, but I do think that the Onimaru pick was possibly questionable. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to know what Bob was kind of searching for.
Well, picking into the Onimaru and then playing that defensive dodge range that he did, just let rodohk just sit there. And then when Bob went, okay, I kind of need to start throwing him now, he just kept getting counterpoked.
Yep.
Yep.
So I think the defining moment in that game was when he aided
Yeah.
and didn't attempt the throw and then blocked twice after that. That's what I think really let him
that's
know
fine.
that he lost the initiative. We do have Mad King versus Fraulo below, so we could cast that. That's
Yeah.
Prince versus all.
Yeah, let's jump into
Pretty
that.
interesting.
I will break up the recording right now.